Today I wanted to go down the list with everything that really sucks about New World right now. Of course, I've been enjoying everything that this game has to offer, except for a few things. So I wanted to elaborate with each of these things, and hopefully these are things that could be either fixed in the future or changed in some way. We'll see what happens. But I wanted to start off with the Azoth system and the teleportation. Right now, it's in a terrible spot. And the biggest problem with teleporting around with the Azoth is that, let's say if you're randomly exploring and you end up like way the hell down here, you see like this quest that I gotta do way down there. If I ended up in that area, there's no way for me to teleport to the nearest town unless, one, I had the inn available, or two, I had a house in that town. So for example, I don't have a house or the inn set up here in Cutlass Key. So I can't just straight up teleport there unless I walk physically to this shrine for the fast traveling, which as you can see costs 134 Azoth just for me to get my ass to that little point right there. It's extremely expensive and also very like, it's very obnoxious to have to deal with this. And the biggest problem with the Azoth, you really never have enough Azoth to teleport around more than like 2 or 3 times before you're completely out. You're gonna have to run like physically to every single town from then on, unless set up the inn or the house to be able to teleport to those, which the houses always have like usually it's usually around 4-hour cooldown. It depends on the price of the house that you pick, because if you buy like the more expensive houses, like the 20,000 ones, I think it goes down to like 2 hours or something. I haven't bought one of those big ones, so I'm not exactly sure. But I've noticed that the timers are lower on them. So there is that, but it's still like that's a crazy amount of time. The same thing with the inn, 1 hour cooldown. That seems obnoxious. I wish they would bring it down to at least like 30 minutes. I would prefer 20 minutes, honestly, because like, you know, with something like that, you could realistically get all the quests done and then be able to teleport to the nearest town. Like let's say if I had it set up for Cutlass Key, it would work so much better. Also, when you're stuck out in the middle of nowhere, forgot to mention this earlier, you literally, since you don't have a way to teleport, what I've been doing is just killing myself. So I will go drown myself in the water so I can teleport to Cutlass Key right here, you know, like and it's really silly, and that's definitely not the way the game is meant to be played, obviously. So I would prefer to not like have this where I feel like I need to kill myself to teleport to the nearest town. I just think it's dumb, you know, and that's the way I've been teleporting around, because like having to spend 134 Azoth when I could have saved that to get my ass over the, you know, Brightwood or something, because I'm very far from Brightwood. So I would prefer to save my Azoth for a situation like that, which look at that, it cost me 274 Azoth. And right now I don't really have a whole lot of shit on me. This is all like pretty basic stuff. I mean, you see like this aged wood, I can drop this on the ground, whatever, like this, drop it on the ground. This I could put in the bank real quick. But you know what I mean? Like the heavier you are, the more it's gonna cost to teleport, and the more problems you have, basically. Like it just seems like the Azoth system is just a huge encumbrance, and it's not cool. I just don't like it. So another thing that I really don't like in this game is we need a way to ship items from town to town. I mean, this game is made by Amazon. This is supposed to be the delivery king of the world right now, and they didn't add a shipping system in their game, you know. So the only way for you to ship items from town to town is if you own the land. And let's say, for example, I decided to pick what's it called, the gold people, I forgot what they're called, the Covenant. If I decided to pick the Covenant as my my faction, I don't own shit. Like, look, it's just one land, and the only way to transfer stuff from town to town like that is if you own the same land in your faction. So basically right now, this server is telling me that I should either be the green people or the purple people, one of those. I'll have a better time being able to transfer, and I think that's really dumb. So what they really need to do is implement a system where you can ship items, like a mail system, something where you can send stuff over. A game that does a really good job of this is Black Desert Online, where you can literally take, let's say, like if I wanted to send all this stuff in my storage from Cutlass Key, and I'll just click on it and I'll say ship over to Windsward over here, and it'll cost me some money and it'll cost time, because it would usually cost, like, let's say in Black Desert, the nearest town like that, it would probably be like a 25-minute, 30-minute for it to get over there. And that's reasonable. If you're sending it over to like all the way the hell up here, then it's probably going to take like more than an hour or something, you know? So that would make more sense to have a system like that, on top of being able to tax that. So like if the faction owns it, then they can adjust the taxes on it to make it either more expensive or least expensive and blah blah blah, you know, like that whole thing. So I feel like overall it would be a really beneficial system for everybody, instead of it being just a beneficial system for the people that own the land, because that's really dumb. Next thing we need to talk about is a better way to grind weapons, like to level them up. Right now, the only way that I've been like really power leveling it as fast as I possibly can is by killing mobs that are my level, or at least at the most around 10 levels below me. Usually when the mobs are 10 levels below me, I have a better time like killing the mobs as fast as possible, so I can be able to get like usually around 40 XP per, you know, that's the usual. Like when I was around level 30-ish, I was grinding here in the salty marshes, killing the zombies. So I would stand right here and then just kill the zombies that kept respawning over and over and over. And I stood there for a few hours doing that. And I got myself to 20. You know, so that was a pretty fast way. Also, doing these open world dungeon things was reasonably fast. Not exactly, mainly because like you have to wait for people to want to go in there, and then also it's the having to find a group, which there is one problem with a grouping with people, like physically joining a team with people. I noticed that it cuts your XP in half. So it actually incentivizes you to not team with people and to just at least tag the mobs instead of actually trying to like collaborate, you know? So I didn't like that. You know, I feel like that's something that definitely needs to be adjusted. And also there just needs to be more ways to grind XP for the weapons. Like I already did some research. I'm not level 60 yet. And I saw that there's a lot of people that have said that the town board only rewards XP. So basically like the same thing. It would be nice if it rewarded weapon XP. I don't understand why that's like so difficult to like even fathom, honestly, because like it would be way better and it would give more incentive to want to do more town quest stuff at level 60 by grinding that out. So that's just an idea. Another thing that really sucks about this game, and this is the biggest thing that really bothers me the most, aside from the Azoth teleporting, is the story. The story pretty much is non-existent, because once you hit around level 25, the voice acting stops. And then also, why do I care about any of these characters when they literally, it's always the same exact concept every single time. Hey, go get me this thing in this town, and then it's like open 3 chests. Or hey, the zombies are taking over the town that I used to live in. Kill 20 zombies. You know, like that's always the quest. It's always 2 different type of quests that you get. And this is recycled throughout the entire game. Like I haven't seen one like side quest that even like tries to do anything, like give you like a puzzle to solve, or maybe even have like an engaging story where like, let's say like you need to go rescue the guy's wife, and then you go in there, you find her like trapped with a bunch of zombies, and then you rescue her and you have to escort her back, you know, like something different other than just opening a chest 3 times or killing a bunch of mobs. You know, like that's the majority of the quest in this game. And the same thing with the town board, the same thing with even the main quest line is like that. It's like it's always a bunch of fetch quests and shit. So I'm really hoping that the future, when they have like expansions and stuff like that, actually starts to get to the point where they have like real cutscenes involved, similar to like what you would see in like Elder Scrolls Online or even like Final Fantasy 14, where it's like cool little like close-ups of your main character showing the emotion, like actually like engaging story that I care about. I want to care about the characters too. At this current state of this game, I don't give a shit about the story anymore, and I'm playing this game as if it's a MMO from 2005 where I'm just spamming E or spamming left click throughout the whole fucking thing, you know? Like, so I really hope that the future has better story. Like, that's all I'm saying. And also, please don't fall asleep on the voice acting. I don't like reading, and I know a majority of people don't care to read, and it's 2021. Hire some voice actors. It's not that hard. I would easily do some voice acting right now for $15 an hour, and that's not even asking a lot, because usually they get paid like $100 an hour or more, you know? Like, I looked it up, and I would easily do this shit for $15 an hour. Like, come on. Another thing that's really annoying is the lack of swimming. I don't understand how the developer can make a game in 2021 and not at least put like swimming on the top of the water, like a little shimmy, something. Like, it doesn't even have to be ridiculously fast or nothing. Like a quick little swim thing, you know, dog paddle, anything. It's better than walking on the bottom of the water, you know? Like, especially like, let's say for example, you do like the Amory dungeon and you go down to the bottom part, there's like this waterfall. You're walking with your group on the bottom of the water to get to the chest. Like, how dumb is that? Like, that really needs to get changed. And I mean, the sooner the better. That way we can be able to explore a little bit better too, because like the last time I was trying to do some I was trying to get over to this area here. I wanted to go to Reekwater, which is level 60 area, and I wanted to go across this, but I was walking on the bottom of the water to get across. I made it almost to the shore and I drowned. Like, that shit is infuriating, you know? And that's something that could have easily been solved if you at least add a little something, you know, like something. Another thing this game really needs is slower respawn of materials and also the mobs in the towns and stuff. Like, let's say if you do a town board quest, sometimes the mobs are like ridiculously fast. Like, they respawn like faster than you can possibly even like kill them to be able to even like open a chest that's there. Like, I've had situations where I would AoE herd and I'll bring like all the mobs to me and I'll kill them all at the same time, and then I'll run to the chest, I'll open the chest, and they're already respawning, and it's like, what? Like, that's insane. And you know, like, everybody has different skill levels of how they play this game, and not everybody can handle like AoE farming the way I do. So when like you have somebody that really can't handle it, let's say like my fiance is not gonna be able to do that crazy shit. Like, she'll probably be like fighting 1 or even 2 at the most, you know? So to have to deal with like 6 enemies constantly respawning all the time, like, that's insane. That's like way too insane. So it's cool for somebody like me that likes to AoE farm, but it gets annoying after a while when all you want to do is just get your quest done and you can't even do it because you're like constantly having to like look over your shoulder all the time to make sure that you don't have mobs chasing you, you know? So that needs to be adjusted. That definitely needs to be changed. When it comes to like the boss mobs and stuff like that, I guess it needs to be better, obviously, for people that need to finish their main quest or side quest or whatever. But yeah, the basic mobs, that they shouldn't be respawning that fast. The same thing with the materials, because the biggest issue with the respawning fast of these materials is that you can look on the auction house and everything is just oversaturated. Like, if you look at like the, let's say, greenwood or something, or you look at the age wood is going for like 1 cent, you know? Like, no one's fucking buying that shit. The same thing with like, you know, like the skinning materials, like raw hides and things like that. Like, they've dropped so much, you know? So like, it's gotten to the point where it's even hurting the market with how fast things are respawning. So that really needs to be fixed. That needs to be adjusted. Another thing I would like to see, which I think would incentivize more PvP, is just more stuff to do with PvP. Like, for example, a couple days ago, I was having a discussion with the stream, and we were talking about all that. And the coolest thing that I think would be nice to add to this game is some sort of bounty system. Like, something where you can go to the town board and then it'll pop up showing like a PvP quest too, and it can be like current bounties, like people that have been killing a bunch of lobies or got reported, basically. Like if a bunch of people I don't know, get their ass whooped and they feel salty and they want to put you on the the, you know, the bounty list, they can put up their own coin to be able to rack up that bounty, basically. And it could be like a dead or alive type of situation. And a cool thing would be if they did something like Red Dead Redemption 2, where you can actually like hog tie them to take them back to town, you know, to like drag them back to town. That would be sick, man. That would be so awesome. I would do bounty hunting all the time if it was shit like that, you know, where you can actually like make it an achievement to not kill people and take them to jail, you know. And imagine even having a jail system where you put them physically in jail, and either their guildmates could bail them out with coin, or they could just sit there in jail for like an hour or something, depending on like how much crime they actually committed. They could be stuck in there. That's something that Star Citizen has that I really like. And you could also, even in Star Citizen, you could escape the jail, so you can figure out how to, like, you know, get out of there, and then you can have guildmates come rescue you and shit, you know. So that was the cool thing about that game, and I would love to see systems similar to that like put into this in some way, you know. Like, of course it's not gonna be the same like that, but it would be cool. It's a cool idea. I'm always mentioning Black Desert Online a lot when I talk about like the life skilling and all that stuff in this game. Eventually, if they ever decided to add mounts or something, it would be really cool to have like some kind of like horses that are taking like a chariot of like supplies or whatever. I don't know if chariot is the right word, but like taking like a supply thing over to other towns. So let's say like you can flag yourself for PvP for more rewards, and it will basically like you can ride over to the next town, and you could even get like an escort with you to help you get over there, like your guildmates or whatever. And if you get attacked, you could lose all the stuff, you know. So that basically gives that high risk, you know, high reward type of feeling with the whole thing. I think that would be really cool too. That way it would incentivize more people to want to flag up and actually pursue stuff like that, you know. So that would be cool little extra things to throw into this game, because when people PvP, they want the high risk, high reward. Like, why wouldn't you want that stuff? You don't, like, most people don't just PvP just to PvP. I mean, you could, but like especially at endgame, when you're level 60 and you got like no more XP to gain, you got no more XP to farm on your weapons, like pretty much all it is at that point is like, you know, just ganking people for no reason. God bless you. All right, and I think the last thing that I would like to mention, I can't really think of anything else, but a way to be able to change the skin of your gear. I think it's called transmogging, but I don't know, it could be different based on the type of game. But like being able to like literally, like they already have the system in here where you can see where it says change skin. What they should do is have like a bunch of things you've collected. Let's say, for example, I get a piece of gear, you know, like this, and I like the way this spear looks. I want to be able to change the look of the spear that I already have into that one. Then I can use like this whole system of taking the skin. Once let's say, for example, if I salvaged it, it would give me a skin or something. I think that's what Guild Wars 2 does with their system. Or maybe it's Elder Scrolls, I'm not really sure. One of those where you can have all the skins available, so you're like collecting all the skins in here, and then you can choose which ones you like, you know. Like that would be an awesome system, and it would also incentivize people to want to go on the auction house and buy, like, you know, some items that look cool and stuff like that. Because right now, look at my dude, look how ugly this fucking costume is, and this is the best in slot gear for my level right now. It's actually not the best in slot gear, but it's close enough. But look at that. Look how ridiculous my dude looks. Like, this is ugly. Like it looks like he just woke up and he washed up on the shore and never washed his clothes, and he's just like being a bum, you know. Like how does, like, he doesn't look like an adventurer at all. He just looks like a homeless guy that washed up on the shore, you know. So like I would love to be able to actually change my look, you know. And right now all I got is this dumb skin, you know, and I'm tired of this thing. But I don't want to look like a homeless guy. I'd rather look somewhat cool, and that's the reason why I wear this, you know. So yeah, there's that. All right, but that's my list. If you have anything else you would like to add, leave it in the comments below. And thanks for watching. Leave a thumbs up if you liked the video, thumbs down if you didn't, and I will see you on the next one. Later, guys.